हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, टुडे विल बी डिस्कस अबाउट द करेक्टर ऑफ मिस्टर बेनेट। ओके, मिस्टर बेनेट जो करेक्टर प्राइड एंड प्रेजुडिस में है, जो कि जेन ऑस्टन ने लिखा है। ओके, फर्स्ट है इंटेलिजेंट मैन। मिस्टर बेनेट इज एन इंटेलिजेंट मैन बाय बर्थ, विच मीन्स ही हैज इनहेरिटेड प्रॉपर्टी, बट हिज property is entailed to the male line and he has no sin to inherit it. He does not have enough money to provide adequate dowry to his daughters. Unfortunately for him, he has made an unwise marriage with a woman of low intelligence who cannot serve as an intellectual companion to him, and therefore he retreats into his library and seeks solace there. When he is with his family, he takes pleasure in ridiculing his ignorant wife and his daughter. He calls his daughter silly Elizabeth. He lays up the isolated position of a philosopher. Indeed, the main aspect about Mr. Bennet is that he is a spectator of life. He is the philosopher in it. And it is through him the novelist expresses some of the most significant truth about life. Next, a gentleman. His one business in life is to derive pleasure out of oddities of others' life had taught him that human beings are in general marked out for ridicule, and he decided to make the most of it. Such an attitude is the result of his own experience of life. Okay. Next, idolent man. Mr. Bennet is an idolent man. He took up no profession to provide for his family. He made no provision for his wife and family, even though he knows that they will not benefit from the state after his death. Mr. Bennet does not take an active interest in directing or controlling the affairs of his family. He gives his wife free reins in spending as long as she does not exceed their income. He dislikes leaving his home, neglects his daughter's education, does not restrain the excess of Lydia and Kilby. Even his indignation over Lydia's elopement is short-lived, but gets some measure of revenge by this sarcasm, which is ineffectual in face of his wife's insensibility. But his sarcasm does not justify his neglect of his daughter. He fails to discipline them, allowing instead their mother to encourage their ignorance and vanity. He is negligent fathers. This is his greatest fault. It is a wonder that Jane and Elizabeth grow up as they do with such a father and such a childish mother. He is fond only of Elizabeth and takes little interest in the rest of the family. Next, witty and humors. Mr. Bennet often makes penetrating remarks and is the source of much of Jane Austen's choicest irony. He is witty and humorous, though bitter. He is no fool. He has plenty of common sense and good judgment for all his faults. He is a likable man, but he is almost as quality as Mrs. Bennet for the sufferings of Jane and Elizabeth and the unacceptable marriage Lydia makes, and his character, who does not change by the end of the novel. There is punishment, however, in store for this strange man. In the end, Lydia's elopement not only brought disgrace upon the family, but also deeply pained and humiliated the father. He tells Elizabeth Say nothing of that who should suffer but myself. It has been my own doing, and I ought to feel it. Moreover, he gains happiness through Elizabeth's marriage. As after it, he often visits Pemberley. He and his daughter are much alike in their wit, humor, and intelligence. There is much in Pride and Prejudice which in the tradition of comedy of manners. There is a country square, there are people timing up at the wrong moments and saying wrong things. There are fantastic and ridiculous characters like Mrs. Collinas and Lady Catherine de Vora and the childish and stupid Mrs. Bennet. There is the comic proposal of Mrs. Collinas and fantastic encounter between Lady de Voro and Elizabeth. The novel has enough for drama, wit and humor, character and action developed through short scenes in dialogue, and there are soliloquies which reveal character and motive, but there are subtleties in Pride and Prejudice. The novel has its faults and quite glaring ones too. We had already noted the lack of originality of the plot. There are faults in characterization as well. Darcy is real and convincing, but we do not know quite enough about him. His extreme insolence in the beginning does not quite match with his later behavior. Gigi Stern thinks that Lady Catherine is a failure because her rudeness is unconvincing, Mary is carelessly done, and he does not come to life. Sheila Kai Smith rates the novel lowest among her novels because she finds the two main romances between Elizabeth and Darcy and between Jane and Bingley somewhat unconvincing. Lydia's elopement is a lost jarring, but these are minor defects in a great novel. The novel has been a perennial source of recreation. It is one of the most popular of the novels of Jane Austen. It is one of the masterpieces of fiction in the English language. It is a great classic, a work for all time and all countries. Nobody who has ever read the novel with pleasure and has ever liked it less on successive readings. This is so because of its charming heroine, its easy, graceful style, its high entertainment value, and scintillating dialogues.